Roxanne was Super Bad, featuring George Lynch. This is the CVT guitar lesson for Wes. Great choice, Wes. I grew up in the city where this band Roxanne was playing. Joe Infante, a friend of mine, used to do all my guitar setups. Great band, and they're back. Haven't heard nothing from them for decades, and they've always been a phenomenal band. This song's smoking. Probably one of, actually not probably, George Lynch's most abstract solos. It's a trip. Reminds me of like some of the stuff Eddie Van Halen did on Fair Warning, you know. It's very abstract. Tuning is standard. There's two guitars in here. I don't have a whammy setup, unfortunately, but I'll explain to you when he does use it. This beginning, follow the picking in this. It's going to help you. And the fingering, of course, fingering, you know, you can change around, but I give you a guide. 4-2 on the D, 4A, 2E. So it's like a 4-note little riff that goes 4 times, changing the last note of each 4. So repeat it with a 5th fret on the E for the end and a slow half-step bend. So we have half-step, 1 fret, bending an A to an A sharp. And then the last one end on an open E. And then that riff, section 1, comes in 9 seconds in, and then 14 seconds in we got this leading into the verse, or close to the verse. Actually, I'll leave it as a verse. 2G, 4D, go up, down. The right hand, or your pick strum hand is going to be important on how you pick this. So, and then go up, down, up, or see, down, up, down after that. 4-2-4 D G D twice. So it's slide the last one. And like I said, there's 2 guitars. There's a lot of octave stuff going on. Like Lynch is probably doing the octave, or one of them is. Section 2A, 17 seconds in. Here's the groove. It's on the low E string. You're gonna go open 1, 2, rest. Okay, then, real subtle, you'll hear and this is how I would strum it, a quick mute upstroke, you know, top 2 strings leading into the open 1, 2 again. So it'd be, you do that again, and one more time. And then a bigger mute across basically top 4 strings. It's not critical. Just make sure it's multiple, you know, more than 3 strings. Up, down, up. Section 2B, 27 seconds in, it just builds into this. Starts the same way with the up mute, open 1, 2 on the E. And it adds this big full mute. And it's going to do all this 3 times. The mutes now are going to be down, up, down, up. If you have to, I call this kind of percussive playing, but if you need to, just practice the mutes and make sure it's in the pocket that you got to groove with it. 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, if you need to, alright? The context is 3 times and then end it with a repeat, just eliminate the big strum. Alright, and then this catchy chorus, section 3, 38 seconds in. Keep all these notes staccato, West. It just means real tight and choppy. In other words, you don't want to go. You want to separate each one of them by relieving pressure and stopping it over here, or a mixture of the both. 4 times 2nd fret on the E. 5th fret, same thing. 2nd fret A, same thing. That gives you 2nd fret up top 3 times, followed by an open, and then we're going to kind of start it over, at least up to the 5th fret E. So your outline is and then open 4 times. This is important. We've got to go down, up, down, up, like we did on the mutes, over some notes. 5E, 2A, and then up, down, up, 2, 5, 2 on the E. So it's, you'll see double dots, go back, repeat everything. 2nd time, no star, which is, check it out. you'll go. Second time 3 through. And go right into this. Stay on the 5th fret, but go down, up, ending with an open. And then we have George's first solo, 58 seconds in. 16 G and D. I would use the 3rd finger as a pivot or a shift. And I would also go down, up on these notes. 14 on the G twice, bending the 2nd one. So it's, pick the 14. So it's, and then 14, 16 G, down, up. And then 16 D, 14 G. Of course, Lynch's vibrato, it's tough. Him and D. Martini and Greg Howe are the only 3 I've seen use it, but he does that, I can't really do it, but it's like a quick ascending, descending slide. It doesn't sound right when I do it, so, but most people vibrato. 14 high E and 13 B, pinch if you can. It's hard to pinch them skinny strings, the unwound ones, but that, and then 14, 12. So it's, let's see, half step bend, release, vibrato, and then 4th fret on the D, index, palm mute it, and then go 4G, 5B. I just kind of bar that, go. Okay. Okay, so we have top of page 3. Do that again with the 4th fret handled with the 3rd finger on the G and B. So it's, we'll shift over, and you're going to bend them, half step, hold, release, bend, release. It'll go to 2 GB, 4D. And then jump way up here to this. 11 G and D, and I would go up, down on this. Or think up, down, up. You're going to go 11 G, 11 D, 14 G, pull off to 11. So that'll give you 14 GBE, 17 E, bend. So one thing else, or one thing also that I wanted to point out, Wes, and there's no way to know for certain. It sounds like George Lynch is tuned different than the rest of the band. He may have come in and just did this solo stuff, and I think he's tuned D standard a whole step down, which is different than the other bands. So it's I heard some open string stuff and I'm going, whoa, this is a whole step off for that. So, but I made adjustments for that, okay? That's it for the first solo. You'll come out of that first solo with 4-2-D, 4A, 5E. It's like one of the intro things we did, and you'll bend that E string. Minute 7, we have section 2A, no star, followed by that riff we just did again. Minute 18, section 2B, no star, followed with just a quick F sharp ending. Some more repeats, 128, and then section 4. This is the what I call the Aerosmith part. 9A, pull off to 7. 9E, 5E. You'll go. Mercy. Sweet Emotion, right? When you get to the E string, you're gonna go 9-5. 6, 7, 8, 9. The 8, 9's played quicker, so it's. Just kidding, man. This song's killer, dude. Jamie's vocals as well. It's just great. 4 times of that, and then I believe that's the hook behind solo number 2, if I'm not mistaken, but we're going to jump into that, and this is a very hard solo to duplicate. I can guarantee you Lynch wouldn't be playing it the same live. It's something that was a go for it solo. 4D, 2G, half step bend, 4G. So it starts with, it's really cool where he chooses to bend. 2B, 4G. So we have bend a whole step, half step drop, back up, half step drop, pulling off to 2. Craziness. 4 on the D, 2 on the G, another half step bend. And then 4th fret on the G, again with a half step bend. So 2B, and then a whole step from there. 2B, 2G, I'd handle that with the index. Kind of reverse shift with the finger. 4D, vibrato, and then rest, pull off to 2. It's a bluesy feel thing, right? 4D, 2G, half step bend again. And then 2nd fret D, 4 times. You're going to palm mute the first 3. You'll go. And then palm mute the 2D again. And jump way up here to 10B, half step bend. Follow the fingering here. And then 11, we're going to do the finger shift again. GD, GD. 3rd finger, you'll go. Repeat it, but throwing a 9 on the G. Back to 11G. Back to 9. So that sounds like this. Then 8G. So. And then 11D, pull off to 8. Really odd note. And then you're going to whammy down and back up. Makes it sound kind of like that type of vibe. 207 timestamp. This one's crazy. Kind of reminds me of Holdsworth a little bit. 17, hammer 18 on the A, 16D. And then 14 on the A, hammer 15, 16. And then 3rd finger shift to the 16D. Do that twice. So you have, or where does it start here? 17 to 18, yeah. That's your start. Grab that the 16 on the D with an upstroke, and then 19B, step and a half. That's a 3 fret bend, hold, release. In other words, bend this to this. Alright, top of page 4. 19, pull 17 on the B, and there's a little trick to this that I gotta explain as if I had a whammy, but I can explain it to where it'll work. And then whammy up on the 17B. Don't pull it past where it naturally sits. You're gonna go, and then have it down, then just bring it up. You're gonna do that 5 times. And then 14B, whammy down. Open G, whammy up, pull it past, bring it back down. He's just going for it, man, on that stuff. It's more of what I call an art solo. 213 timestamp, 14 on the high, on the low E, twice, once, it'll go. Use your 3rd finger, and then go 14 again. Right after that, I actually really like this part. It's 12A, hammer 14, 15, 16, so it sounds like this. Almost a chromatic. And then go 14D up. So it's 16A, pull 15, 14. 14D, hammer 15, 16. So you have a kind of reverse happening there. 15G, hammer 17, 18, and then pull off. It's ascending, descending to 16D. So you have the right spot, 15. 17B, 17E, and then 17, hammer 20, and 21, and pull off to 20. Or you have this. That's it for that. 16A with the pinky, down up, pull off to 14, 12. And this next part is the only one that's a traditional style, something that guitar players are familiar with, where he goes 16G, 17B. I would go 3rd and 4th finger, bend the G a whole step, release, and bend. So we're gonna go. Then 16G bend, 17B, and do that 5 times. It's 14G vibrato.